What's your name?
Mia.
Do you know how to lift that thing up?
Yeah.
Whoa. Get your knee under it. Very good. All right, off you go.
Whoa, whoa, Nina, whoa, slow down, whoa, whoa.
Ce film est l'histoire du deux roues, tous ceux équipés d'un moteur. Des hommes qui, à travers le monde, sont passionnés de moto.
I don't want a pickle. Just want to ride on a motorcycle. I don't want to die. Just want to ride on a motorcycle. Oh, it was late last night, the other day. I thought I'd go up and see Ray. So I went up and I saw Ray. There was only one thing Ray could say was I don't want a pickle.
Cela touche toutes les générations. Dépasse les frontières et brise les clichés. Ça parle d'aventure, de la famille, d'une communauté unie et de compétition. Et d'un dévouement à toute épreuve.
And I don't want to die.
Cela parle de tout et de n'importe quoi, les deux à la fois.
Late last week I was on my bike, running to a friend named Mike, running to a friend named Mike.
Cela parle de machines et des hommes qui ne vivent que pour les conduire. Du frisson que l'on ressent quand on appuie sur l'accélérateur. Je m'appelle Dana Brown. Ces histoires se déroulent tous les dimanches.
Sundays, ride day. Means I get to go ride and then free from all the other crap from Monday to Saturday. Don't even have to think about it.
There's some connection you make when you're small about the fascination of motorcycles. I don't know quite what that is, but nevertheless it's very deeply seated within you.
I know at 8 years old I was building quite pretty big, like dodgy built, you know, plank of wood with a heap of bricks underneath it, but I was building like big jumps that were, you know, I'd come flying down a hill and jump. 3 of my friends laying on the ground with their bikes and land on a sketchy little landing with bricks in it.
De tout temps, faire de la moto visait à explorer ses propres limites. Les casse-coups sont présents depuis l'invention de la moto à la fin du 19e siècle. Les motards cascadeurs prenaient des risques fous pour impressionner la foule et se faire un peu d'argent. À l'époque, le talent importait peu. Il suffisait d'être fou furieux. Il y avait un homme auquel chaque cascadeur se mesurait. Evel Knievel. Une icône culturelle dont les exploits ont inspiré toute une génération de motards. Et qui a fini par donner naissance au freestyle motocross du 21e siècle. De tous ces nouveaux motards cascadeurs, un règne en maître. Robbie Madison, un motard cascadeur né.
As a kid, I was a big dreamer, you know. I was out there building jumps in my front yard as young as I can remember. I think I was 2.5 or 3, like my son's age now, and we had this little step. I just tried to ride straight off it, and sure enough, went straight head first, and fractured my skull. We lived at the top of a hill called Hospital Road, and it was probably lucky for my sake that there was one so close to us, you know, because we were down there frequently, and I'd walk in and I'd say, "Hi Robbie, hi Debbie, hi Peter." They knew the whole family, and we joke about that now, but it was like, there was something in me at a young age before I was old enough to make decisions. So when I became old enough to make decisions, I'd make crazy ones.
I see Robbie's kind of already made his mark in freestyle. He's been a top 3 guy for however long. I met Robbie in 2005 when he first came out to an event I was doing called Ride to the Hills, this natural terrain free ride event. And, you know, if there was a jump that they didn't want to hit or something, he'd be the guinea pig. He's that guy that's willing to go first and take a chance.
Done for the day. Anyone have any complaints with that?
No, bro.
A lot of guys are really focused on contests and doing kind of something that's as cool as the last guy did, and Robbie's always like, all right, what can we do that's just way different?
Every time you come up here, it's not like you get used to it. It's great, you can't even see the takeoff. And then at the takeoff, you can't see the landing.
That's what they're saying, yeah, you stand up
totally
there,
blind.
like... What was your first impression of Robbie?
It's crazy. That was it, you know, it's crazy. He told me he was going to jump a football field, and I was like, all right, you know. Then he came and asked me if I'd build him a big ramp, and that was it.
I think he's, hands down, the modern-day 21st century Evel Knievel.
We're not adrenaline junkies, you know, and I think people looked at Evel Knievel and all these daredevils along the way, say they got no fear for life, they're probably drug addicts and all this kind of stuff. I'm trying to do all my jumps for authentic reasons. If you look from the outside, it looks like I'm out here trying to prove points, but really these are dreams that I have, and I come up with them, majority of them myself, or I get inspired.
He pitches to us all the time. You just sit there and you're kind of like overwhelmed. And then a year later, it comes true.
Can't wait to see what the stunt double thinks when he looks at this jump.
It's a huge process. Like every jump, people just think it just happens, but usually it's a couple of years in the making. I'm like, oh great, here we go again. I'm gonna have no fingernails again.
Amy et Robbie sont tombés amoureux en Australie et ont voulu réaliser leur rêve aux États-Unis.
We come over here with 2 suitcases, like no motorbikes, no nothing.
We first came, we lived on a property just a few hundred metres from where we're at right now, and we're living in a little shed.
Then living on people's floors.
We had our car burnt down.
Bouncing to friends' houses, like just never felt comfortable.
To be here at this place, I mean, we pinch ourselves every day, we're very fortunate. But I'm just here following my heart and my passion, and when I was a little kid, I think if you watch my son for 10 minutes, you can see it's in him too.
All he wants to do is jump everything. I always say he looks like me, but he acts like Robbie.
You know, he just naturally wants the thrill. There's that need, and it's probably in our blood, it's in our gene.
Go, 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 go! Hopefully he doesn't follow in his career footsteps. It's very stressful. I don't think I could handle 2 of them.
A lot of times I'm doing these jumps and she's carrying kids, you know, so I think that gets pushed into the kids too, so I got these crazy kids coming through. But I probably deserve it, you know, because of what I put my poor parents through.
Robbie ne tombe pas dans le stéréotype du motard cascadeur. Il est méticuleux, travaille assidûment avec son équipe et prépare une cascade pendant des mois.
I asked for it.
How's that feel?
Feels great. Yeah, it's lightweight.
All right, should we try the other one?
Sure.
There's too much going on for me to be on point and checking everything, you know, so I need people in my corner that I can trust to double check all the stuff along the way.
We talked about it and talked about angles and pitches and all the rest of that stuff. And he goes, you think it would work? I was like, heck yeah, it'll work. Let's do it.
When did you first hear about this from?
Like 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm a gossip queen, so he didn't tell me much right away, which is probably smart.
It's huge. Somebody's life, you know, and they're trusting me to go off the jump that I made, so.
Le projet était simple. Se rendre à Park City dans l'Utah et sauter du tremplin olympique de 120 mètres avec sa moto. Il s'élèverait avant de retomber 60 mètres plus bas.
He told me he's going to ride down the mountain like Daddy. And I'm like, yeah, maybe not this week.
Yeah, I'm like, give it a year or 2.
Let Mommy get over this one.
I feel pretty nervous, but I think I'm more nervous because I am pregnant. I've got all these extra emotions, and I think that's why being safety Sam, like pointing out all the dangers, all the extra things that could go wrong to Rob.
I feel like I've kind of checked off the list and everything's in order and we're set to go. As long as Mother Nature is the only one I can't control. But I looked at the weather and it's saying between 6 to 10 miles per hour, so it's not ideal. But I said, like, let's get up there at the crack of dawn and then we have the whole day to decide when we're going to jump, you know.
Peu après 8 heures, alors que le vent se lève, Robbie décide de monter.
Ready, gonna jump down there? Yeah?
Robbie a volé sur 114 mètres. Une chute équivalente à plus de 18 étages.
Dude, that one was gnarly. Dunzo. Good job, dude. That was sick.
Oh, so glad you're okay. So glad. Oh, good job, babe.
Thank you guys.
Bien plus que d'avoir battu un record, c'était la satisfaction d'avoir réalisé un rêve. La figure du motard cascadeur a évolué en 150 ans d'histoire de la moto. Mais certaines courses n'ont pas changé. L'une des courses les plus vénérées est le championnat EME Pro Grand National. Une série de 19 manifestations sur diverses pistes aux États-Unis. Dans l'univers du flat track, la manifestation la plus prestigieuse est le Springfield Mile. Depuis plus de 60 ans, le championnat pro grand national attire de nouveaux jeunes talents.
Started racing with the guys more and more, and you know, they all treat me like family. You know, our sport's really, really close.
I think the bond is a little closer with what we do. Be able to know and trust the guy you're racing with, trust them at 130 miles an hour going into turn one.
We've got such great young talent coming up nowadays. These young kids, I'll tell you, are just full of it. I mean, they're full of fire.
There's just something about it, even though, you know, it's not as big as some of the other disciplines, it's still kind of like, you know, this is the roots, this is where it starts.
La moto aux États-Unis a connu son apogée il y a 40 ans. La contribution de ses pilotes résonne toujours à Springfield. Par exemple, grâce à l'ancien champion Mert Lowell. Après sa carrière de pilote, il est devenu mécanicien et a contribué au progrès des prothèses. Progrès qui a changé la vie du pilote amateur Jay McCullough.
He saw the mechanical hand that I made. He and his dad got together and said, "Got to have one of those." So they got one, and it completely brought him out of being in the background. And now he's a motivational speaker. He's very involved in doing anything he can to get amputees back on motorcycles.
Jake est venu au Grand National pour y concourir en amateur. Pour la première fois, il est arrivé en finale.
Every time I get off a dirt track, when I really went out hard and really had it sideways, it's just, there's no better high in the world. To truly enjoy this, it does take a special type of crazy, but normal's overrated. You can't live in a box forever. You have to be able to step out and have fun.
Le dimanche, c'est pour les pros. La course la plus prestigieuse est le Springfield Mile.
It's one of the longest running dirt tracks in America. There's all sorts of legends that have won this race and raced here.
It's produced so much drama, so much great racing. It is really like the Kentucky Derby of flat track races.
Flat track racing is so difficult because it's so simple at the same time. First place to last place will be within a second.
Ils roulent au coude à coude et prennent les virages à 160 km/h. Pour finir sur la ligne droite à 210.
It's a sport that, I hate to say quit evolving, but I think that's also the beauty of it.
La course de flat track dans le championnat pro grand national est la référence du motocyclisme. Elle façonne la compétition de motocross et produit de nouveaux talents, dont 4 champions du monde de MotoGP.
To be able to have that feeling of where you have traction, you don't have traction, that's where a dirt track comes into a good effect for road racers.
All the GP guys starting a flat track and start training, and you know, if you look back, that's where all of them came from.
I was really kind of glad to go because it's one thing, and I tell this to some of the motocross guys, it's one thing to say you're, you know, American champion. It's another thing to say you're a world champion. It's a whole new meaning.
Ça, c'est le Grand Prix moto. Le circuit des Amériques. Le nouveau venu sur le tour. La MotoGP est la catégorie reine. Ce tour coûte 100 millions de dollars, se déroule dans 11 pays sur 4 continents et compte des millions de fans. Ce carnaval itinérant est composé de 48 pilotes, de centaines de mécaniciens, techniciens et journalistes qui accompagnent le tour. Depuis des décennies, c'est la plus prestigieuse des courses. Ces machines valent plusieurs millions et sont pilotées par des athlètes hautement qualifiés.
Well, I mean, the equipment's definitely changed. I don't think the people have changed. The only difference is you still go as fast as you can go, but now when you get off, there's much further to walk back to get your bike.
La MotoGP est un sport à risque. Mais qui dit risque, dit reconnaissance. Les pilotes de MotoGP sont des héros sportifs internationaux, comme le tenant du titre, Jorge Lorenzo, et le septuple vainqueur Valentino Rossi. Cette vedette accomplie est le sportif italien le plus connu. Pour devenir un Rossi, il faut s'y atteler jeune.
I started when I was 4 years old. Yeah, quite small.
I was all the time crying, but when I was on the bike, I stopped crying. That's the only moment I give peace to my parents at that time.
Deux des favoris du championnat sont Marc Marquez et Dani Pedrosa. Coéquipiers chez Honda Repsol, tous les deux espagnols, et pourtant, leur conduite est très différente. Marquez est un débutant intrépide. Il est arrivé 3e pour sa première course en Grand Prix.
So, next step is get the first win, but this is step by step.
Pedrosa, un vétéran calme aux gestes calculés, finit toujours sur le podium. Au championnat de MotoGP, Dani est arrivé 3 fois 2e.
I think Danny's a super intelligent rider. If the bike is not perfect for him or not set up right or he doesn't like a certain thing on the racetrack, he won't push it past that. And whereas, say, like a Marquez would.
3 years ago, just I was pushing
many stupid crashes, but you know, if you need to learn to go faster, it's more difficult.
To do what he's doing is a real fine point between making a mistake that could hurt you and winning the race, if you can get to the race.
En qualif, Marquez a un peu trop poussé.
First crash of the season for Marquez.
He looks like he's okay, Marquez, but he looks like he had a fair old bang.
15 minutes avant la fin des qualifs, Marquez est ramené au stand où il doit changer de moto. Avec l'accord des médecins, il reprend la course. 10 minutes plus tard seulement, il est de retour sur le circuit et roule plus vite que jamais. Par miracle, Marquez bat le record historique de vitesse de cette course. Il devient le plus jeune pilote à arriver en pole position d'un MotoGP.
Marc Marquez has already rewritten the history books yesterday. Can he write another chapter this afternoon? Alongside him is his teammate Dani Pedrosa and the world champion Jorge Lorenzo.
Peu avant 14 h, les pilotes s'alignent au départ. Ils devront parcourir 21 tours.
Welcome to the second round of the MotoGP World Championship.
Oh, not a great start from Jorge Lorenzo on the inside there. He was very keen to pull the bike across and he's going to lose position.
No way through at the moment for the youngster. Well over 210 miles an hour. Pedrosa leads.
Pendant les 10 premiers tours, Dani Pedrosa brille par son génie.
Some races you are there and you just feel everything on slow motion. Super slow. And when you have this feeling, nothing can stop you.
Pedrosa s'est détaché du peloton, à l'exception de son jeune collègue, Marc Marquez.
Julian Marquez probably doesn't have any nails left.
Au 13e tour, Marquez tente sa chance.
Here he comes.
Dani Pedrosa, after finishing fourth in Qatar, is desperate to beat him. Braking for the last time for turn 12.
No mistakes now.
Surely now we are talking about the new Valentino Rossi.
He's special in his own right, this one.
Marc Marquez, the youngest ever winner of a Premier Class Grand Prix motorcycle race, wins in Texas.
Avec fierté, le père de Marc le regarde réaliser un rêve d'enfance. Son idole, Valentino Rossi, le félicite pour sa victoire.
In my room I have all his bikes of his history and now I compete with him and he come to me and he congrats me, so it's special.
Pour Dani qui arrive deuxième, c'est une bonne journée, mais pas une victoire.
When you are close like today and you cannot manage, it's you can taste it. When you don't have a good Sunday, it's the longest afternoon ever. The next step is try to get that experience for be ready for fight for the championship next year.
À la fin de la journée, une armée d'ouvriers range les tonnes de matériel pour les expédier à l'autre bout du monde, destination la prochaine étape du MotoGP. Dans le monde de la moto, tout ne tourne pas uniquement autour de la compétition. Parfois, c'est simplement une question de balade le dimanche. On se teste sur le terrain. Certains pilotes du dimanche sont meilleurs que la moyenne. L'un d'entre eux est Carlin Dune. Il travaille avec son père Trevor dans son atelier Ducati à Santa Barbara, dont il est propriétaire depuis 35 ans. Ancien pilote de course sur route en Afrique du Sud, il a élevé seul son fils et sa fille aussi bien qu'il pouvait.
We lived above the motorcycle shop when I was a little kid. I wasn't going to be like an interpretive dancer or anything. It was a motorcycle rider from the get-go.
It had training wheels, and all he knew was on. So as soon as he got dangerous, I'd kill the ignition. He would just freak out. He would stomp his feet and go, no, no, no.
He wasn't like a lot of racer dads where he's taking me to the track and let's practice. It's just what we did.
He was coming up, I was going out, that we were both competitive with each other. That was the best time of my life. Don't scratch through my stuff, Colin. I'll just put it in there.
I'm not going to make it fall down, I promise. And it's funny, we're like oil and water usually. But when it comes to a motorcycle race, whatever gripe we have against each other, it's just gone. I'm so lucky we got that.
Carlin et Trevor décident de partir entre père et fils, leur moto à l'arrière, du sud de la Californie vers l'Utah.
I don't know the last time we went road tripping with each other. It was kind of like old friends.
Sure you got everything? Yep. You locked the front door? Yeah, I locked the front door.
Sure.
Yep. He's starting to think that he knows more than I do. I think he's got another 35 years to go.
Après 12 heures de route, les voilà arrivés sur le lac salé de Bonneville.
I think this is probably the first step of one of the coolest things you ever do in your life, and to make knowledge of that, I'd like you to go ahead and high-five the person next to you. Everybody make a high-five.
You get out there, and it's like being in a snowy parking lot. It's like snow. It's like the consistency of snow. Feels like snow, looks like snow, but it's blazing hot.
Voici la 65e édition du Bonneville Speed Week. Plus de 100 personnes convoitent le record de vitesse sur Terre. À moto ou en voiture fusée, tout est possible. Cet événement rassemble des pilotes venus du monde entier.
Bonneville number 6 for us, and we took it on the plane in suitcases, reassembled it here, and broke 4 records.
I think all these old pieces tell a story. It's not shiny and off the showroom floor.
I mean, the passion that goes into building these things in this garage that was the fastest thing that's ever going to be. And it comes out here and reality just slaps you right in the face. It happened to us.
À Bonneville, on n'a pas le temps de s'entraîner. On attend son tour et une fois au départ, on met les gaz avec l'aide de quelques copains. Trevor, à son tour, prend son envol au-dessus du sel. À la fin de sa route, chacun est récupéré par un mécano-nutritionniste entraîneur. On vient ensemble au départ où on échange les rôles. Carlin s'est fait prêter une moto par le champion Scott Warner. Ce 2 roues est l'un des plus rapides de la planète. C'est plus un avion de chasse qu'une moto, et c'est tout aussi complexe.
This display only goes to 218. It can't keep up with itself after that. If you look down and it's 218, you know you're cutting a fat one. You got 6 speeds. If any of the red ones, come on, just leave the switch on. This is the most important one. And then we'll turn on this switch here. Here's one that's going to confuse things. Turn on our water pump. Go ahead and shut this one off. Know where all your parts are. This is the water pump, where the bolts are.
It happens.
Carlin entre dans la fournaise en nage, assis sur une moto inconnue, participant pour la première fois. Il s'élance sur la plaine salée. 160 km/h. 240 km/h. 290 km/h.
That thing is fast. I think I was only in my third gear.
Tandis que Carlin conduit une fusée à travers le désert, son père, lui, reste sur le bas-côté. Trevor passe plus de temps à réparer sa moto qu'à la conduire.
Nothing like smelling 110 octane hot van still on octane.
Étourdi par la fumée et la chaleur, Trevor décide d'observer son fils passer à l'attaque de la piste de Bonneville. À 349 km/h, à seulement 11 km/h du record, le moteur le lâche. Puis vient le moment difficile, rendre l'avion de chasse cassé à son propriétaire. Le propriétaire n'est même pas dépité. En fait, il a fait promettre à Carlin de revenir à Bonneville pour refaire un essai avec l'engin. C'est ça la moto. Mettre ses capacités et sa machine à l'épreuve des éléments. Certains conduisent leur moto dans des endroits insolites. Dans un paysage semblable à Bonneville, mais où il fait 38 degrés de moins. Un groupe de motards passionnés se retrouve à Alberta au Canada, à moins de 0 degré, pour construire une piste sur glace. Siggy Péchou, l'un des fondateurs du club Second Gear, apporte son aide.
When I was young, I always wanted to race. MotoGP was my dream. These guys were my heroes. Kids get inspired by something like this. The kids learn from a very young age what racing is all about.
All right, you gonna have fun today? Yeah. All right, thank you.
Peu importe l'âge. On vient de toute la province pour se retrouver sur le lac gelé. Et c'est pas pour faire du hockey. Le secret de cette course, c'est de mettre des clous sur les pneus pour l'adhérence. Et Alberta a des clous, on en met un peu partout.
You got your studded ice boots on? See, look at that, eh? Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. I got some more in the trunk if I lose a couple.
So mind your ride, pay attention, don't kill anybody, but don't make them bleed on the track, okay?
Dès qu'on agite les drapeaux, la glace se réchauffe vite. On ne gagne ni trophée ni argent. On roule pour le plaisir. Quand on tombe, on croit voir 56 mécaniques qui vous attaquent.
And that Can-Am, I rode one of those Can-Ams once. They're not like the new age bikes, I tell you that much.
I didn't know I could do it either until I tried it. I hear the bacon frying, sizzling in the pan. Coffee is a steaming in a big 10-gallon can. Breakfast is already good enough for any man. Take me back to Alberta.
When you get all these people together, by the end of the day, everybody goes home happy and they have a good time, and just the feeling of accomplishment, just putting something like this together.
La communauté des motards rassemble des gens de tous horizons.
I remember just being fascinated with it was all the boys, you know, going around in these circles and sliding into turns and going off jumps, and I had to do it. That family, the camaraderie, there's a banter that they have that you won't find in an office setting.
I don't like the hucklebugs, but I like the hippie chicks.
This common interest is the same as the circus.
Bienvenue au cirque à 3 pistes, le circuit du comté d'Orange. Depuis plus de 40 ans, ce spectacle du sud de la Californie amuse les foules. Brad Oxley est Monsieur Loyal.
If you look at MotoGP bikes or motocross bikes, man, they've really come a long way.
but not so for speedway motorcycles. Really hasn't changed since the first speedway championships in the late 20s.
Speedway were the cowboys. I mean, the racing is as edgy and sketchy as any supercross road race in the rain or anything else.
Really the purest form of motorcycle racing. 4 laps, around an oval, on a motorcycle with no transmission, no suspension, and no brakes.
Speedway racing in general is amazing. The crowd energy, and it's all packed into like this really small, like horse arena.
Les courses s'enchaînent. On prend le départ toutes les 2 ou 3 minutes. Une soirée speedway est incomplète sans les sidecars. Brad s'assure toujours qu'à un moment donné, tout le monde puisse rouler avec sa bécane.
Racing isn't about how fast the guys are going, it's about how close the racing is. And nothing's closer and more unpredictable than the Harley dudes.
It's all about racing, baby. Speedway, dirt racing. A lot of respect for these guys that really do it. We're just a bunch of fools.
Someone's always going to end up upside down and burn a hole in their leg or whatever it is. It's madness. It's absolute madness out there.
It's just like it always was, and I think part of our success is that we haven't changed the blueprint of Costa Mesa Speedway. We've kept the wheel greased and we tighten those spokes up and make sure it runs true, but we haven't reinvented the wheel.
I mean, he's really a true motorcycle family and someone who I think really helped to keep motorcycling alive here in Southern California.
Roland Sands est plus qu'un fan de speedway. Il a aussi été champion de moto et à présent, c'est un fabricant de motos sur mesure de renom.
As my racing career was winding down, I got second in the race, and I also finished a motorcycle that I built, this little red Harley Davidson, like custom frame Cosman. It's really nice, and people, I think, paid more attention to the bike than they did the fact that I got second in the race, and it kind of light popped out. I'm like, maybe I could do something different and kind of still be a person getting recognized for doing something that they love. For me, when I look at a motorcycle, I'm like, what could I do with this machine?
Roland et son équipe sont de vrais artistes. Ils fabriquent leurs motos pour une grande variété de clients.
3 years we know each other, yeah, 3, 4. Well, I lose track. You got a middle name, Roland?
Wayne.
Roland Wayne. But Roland Wayne Sands, yeah. Sounds like a country western singer with an overbite, yeah. This is the low-key bike we put together. Everything was well thought out. We fooled around with a lot of different ideas. And
I like the fact that Mickey had strong opinions. The things that I think made the bike pop, you know, that really came from Mickey and his expression about what he wanted to do.
Yeah, because you ain't going to see 2 of these.
No.
You know?
When they're looking at buying custom bikes or they're looking at buying custom parts to make their bike their own, they have this picture in their head of what they want. It's really an aesthetic thing. You're stylizing yourself.
The coolest thing is to be able to compliment somebody, how they made that bike personally theirs.
You're looking at something that is more a piece of art, and you wouldn't think somebody could write it, you know, just the way they're designed.
It's not about comfortable. I want to make sure that I feel right on the bike, and I want to make sure, you know, I don't ride suicide clutch because it's easier, you know. I like to pull up and do that, you know.
If you have a bad back and you have to look behind you to see what's coming, go ahead and look behind you.
We just continue.
Yeah.
That's MotoGP style.
Yeah, right?
MotoGP style.
We have a real relationship because we have something in common that we're passionate about. I mean, Roland and I have motorcycles in common, but probably that's about it. He's a pretty straight-laced dude. Roland Wayne Sands.
Pour Roland, les motos sont des œuvres d'art qui roulent. Ailleurs, elles sont juste un outil d'une nécessité absolue.
Yep,
sở thích của người Việt Nam. Bởi vì phương tiện cá nhân đi tới đi lui sử dụng nhiều. Xe máy nó cũng giống như một cái đôi chân tốc hành vậy đó.
Au Vietnam, les deux roues sont bien plus qu'un loisir ou qu'un produit. Elles font partie du quotidien.
Thì chở là nó phải cồng kềnh rồi, thì nó cũng khó chạy hơn chút xíu thôi. Thì mình chạy xe bình thường thì không có gì, nhưng mà chắc lên thì nó khó chạy xíu thôi, nó lắc lắc cái đầu xíu thôi. Ăn thua là mình chạy quen là được rồi.
Ce qu'ils ont l'habitude de faire est incroyable. Ils transportent tout et n'importe quoi sur leur bécane. Et parfois, on assiste à une tragédie. Plus on observe le chaos de cette circulation, plus on y voit une sorte d'harmonie. Et le plus surprenant, c'est qu'ils font ça tous les jours.
That's us. We love that. So it doesn't matter if you're, you know, the average Joe or big time dude. Your love is in that bike.
Cette histoire d'amour avec sa moto mène parfois à un comportement extrême.
Racers are crazy, I mean, just period, point blank.
And there's a drive behind some of these guys that overrides their sense of self-preservation.
Voici un endroit où l'instinct de survie est nul. Herzberg, en Autriche. Sur le site d'une mine de fer se déroule l'événement le plus éreintant du monde. Le Air Scramble Hard Enduro. 500 participants représentant 40 pays. La course dure 4 heures et ceux qui font plus de 450 mètres se considèrent chanceux.
You have to be very fit and very young, then you have a chance to finish it. But I'm old and fat. You have to be crazy to do this.
Une course infernale de 34 km. Au Air Scramble, on entend la phrase « C'est pas possible » dans au moins 8 langues. Des 500 participants, seulement 30 en verront la fin.
Really hard, but doable.
Cette course est synonyme de mots commençant par F. Fatigue, faiblesse, frustration et le plus grave de tous, fiasco.
When it's over, you don't think about it, and you're looking forward for next year. It's magic.
Ceux qui finissent la course ne repartent pas heureux d'avoir gagné, mais simplement soulagés d'avoir survécu. Pour certains, le plus grand des obstacles ne se trouve pas sur la piste.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. My next guest is a two-time X Games gold medalist for women's motocross, and she's the first deaf person to ever compete professionally in the sport. Please welcome, along with her father Jim, 21-year-old Ashley Fialik. I would think there might be disadvantages to not being able to hear if you're riding a motorcycle professionally.
It's a little disadvantage. You know, I can't hear them, obviously, so I have to hold my line. I can't move around on the track, else I'll hit them. It's an advantage off the track because I can't hear them talking trash about me or anything like that. So it works out good.
We're very happy about that.
There's not a better, sport in the world than riding a motorcycle.
as a family thing, because I think, you know, like this, you can go camp, you can ride and have fun, and you don't have to race. About 2 years old, Ashley would ride on the front of my motorcycle. So my wife would ride on a four-wheeler. Yeah, I always remember just sitting with my dad on the front and going through the woods, and we'd just go for literally like hours. Yeah, this is the first time we get to ride together in a long time, but maybe even since I'm 50, so. She said, but now it's not really that much fun because she beats me so easy that it's not even. Really? Ashley's thinking, you know, it's motorcycles. This is what we did as a family, so we're close. We still do it. She sees a lot of kids like that in motorcycling. You know, the family comes not from racing. I think it comes more from just, you know, traveling together, being together, and doing things, working together.
On Sunday, throw a bike in the back of a truck, and it doesn't matter if it's a dirt road, if it's a sand trail, if it's a cliff, if it's a highway, whatever it is, I can make it my own experience. And that's something that, I'm sorry, nothing else has.
You're getting this incredible rush of wind and speed. It's just like a symphony of events that creates a sum that's greater than the parts.
Dans le monde de la moto, une discipline attire plus particulièrement les pilotes et les fans. Des hommes, des femmes, des enfants, des familles et des amis se retrouvent ici, à travers le pays, sur des pistes de motocross.
Motocross and supercross later on really fits a lot of the American interest, I think. Americans like things that are a little bit wild and rough, and I think this sport fits well.
Motocross is a good thing to be a part of as a kid. Like, it's dangerous and you get hurt, but like, I think it's worth it for what you get out of it.
Motorcycling, it's our common bond, and it's our little excitement together, and that's why I'm giving this to the kids too, because I get to do it with them now too.
You watch them go around, you get more excited really than doing it yourself. You know, some of those little kids out there, their helmet looks as big as they are. You know.
It's a disease, and once you have it, that's it. It doesn't leave your body ever.
Ceux qui prennent leur loisir très au sérieux se retrouvent tout près de Sacramento, à Hangtown, en Californie. La série MAA de motocross y organise un événement. Les 2 premiers jours sont dédiés aux amateurs. Quel que soit leur âge, ils viennent de tout le pays pour se mesurer les uns aux autres.
And you just wonder, like, which one of these kids is like going to be the next national champion? They could be here, you know, you just don't know it.
Le dernier jour est réservé aux pros, notamment aux femmes.
There's not one thing that I enjoy more than racing dirt bikes, because it's what I love to do, whether it be my job or whether it be a hobby. I mean, I love it.
C'est la première course pro de Courtney Duncan et elle la remporte.
One day I'd like to race in the men's and the AMA and just start off in the women's, and it's my first year. It's my first year on big bikes as well, so I'm excited.
La course la plus importante est la catégorie 450, avec les héros du 2 roues, comme Ryan Villapoto, Ryan Dungey et James Stewart.
When I brought James home from the hospital, I put him on my motorcycle before I ever took him into the house at 2 days old and took him for a ride. My wife thought I was crazy, but...
If I win a race tomorrow, it's always we. And I think the only reason I say that is just because I've always considered my family a part of me. I just see my mom and dad just sitting on a podium right next to me every time I win.
You know, at 13 or 12, he was supporting his family, right? Every race was $1.
Back then, we didn't have no motorhome. The motorhome didn't come till we started getting success.
If you grew up having to win to go to the next race, it's hard mentality to try to change, you know, when you're pro. It's just hard for me to go to the gate not expecting to win.
Au Hangtown Motocross, il faut rouler avec 2 motos chaque fois 35 minutes. C'est l'un des sports les plus exigeants qui existent. Quand James est sur la ligne de départ, il est toujours entouré d'athlètes mondialement connus. L'assaut du premier virage pour passer en tête, c'est exceptionnel. C'est comme de faire de la dentelle au milieu d'une course de taureaux. James réalisa le meilleur départ les 2 fois.
Probably the most talented guy ever to throw a leg over a motorcycle. And when James Stewart is on, I wish I could be in James's body to feel what he feels and the speed that he carries.
Personne ne s'assoit pendant une course de motocross. Tout le monde vit la course avec la même passion. Se battent pendant 70 minutes. Le seul saut qu'ils doivent effectuer est à 9 mètres de haut. James s'est bien battu, mais il a fini 3e. Jour de chance pour Ryan Villopotos. Aujourd'hui, on va à fond la caisse. La compétition est féroce. Mais ce qui compte le plus, c'est l'esprit de communauté.
At the racetrack especially, it's a really family environment, but even the freestyle guys, I mean, most of them have families and kids and stuff, and you kind of wouldn't think it if you didn't know them, like just watching the crazy stuff they do, you know?
See, everyone thinks action sports are like, oh, hooligans or motorcycles and this kind of stuff, but it's what I did as a family. I mean, it's what my dad loved to do. It's what all my uncles loved to do. It's what my mom was passionate about. And, you know, we'd go, if we went on a camping trip, we brought the dirt bikes.
Hi, guys. Thanks for coming to Nitro. Appreciate it, guys.
Travis Pastrana est l'un des plus grands noms du motocross. Il s'attaque à toutes les disciplines. Il combine ses passions dans son spectacle Nitro Circus.
This Nitro Circus really grasped all these people that still wish they were the 80s stuntmen, that wish they could try stuff that's never been tried.
C'est 2 heures d'émerveillement. On voit toutes sortes de choses voler dans les airs, dont la femme de Travis, Lindsay.
You know, our creativity is, hey, we're not going to be a golfer, we're going to be the ball. And when we hit, we're going to launch, and we got to get in that hole, or it's bad, man.
Le goût de Travis pour le danger, les chutes et les sensations fortes ont fini par payer. Travis a révolutionné le motocross freestyle. Il est aussi quadruple champion de rallye et a même participé à 2 saisons de NASCAR. Mais Travis est bien plus qu'un pilote. Il est aussi un père de famille dévoué, bien que sa famille ne soit pas tout à fait conventionnelle.
Like the family outing.
Lindsay, la femme de Travis, est skateuse professionnelle et comme lui, elle est médaillée d'or aux X Games.
I think skateboards are more dangerous, personally.
If you're riding them.
Hey.
Quand Travis et Lindsay sont chez eux, ce qui est rare, ils reçoivent toujours de la visite. Comme celle du pilote du MAA Hall of Fame, Doug Henry, accompagné de sa fille. Doug est triple champion de motocross. Il s'est fracturé le dos 2 fois, la deuxième fois lui paralysant les jambes.
I just admire how much he's adapted. He taught me that life throws things out at you and can change in just a second, and you can't look back and be like, oh wow, like you can't regret anything. You have to look at how you can make your life better, how you could keep going.
A lot of stuff happens in life, and you know, there's nothing we can do to control the things that happen to us, you know, no matter what. But we can, you know, somehow figure out a way to just keep a smile on our face and, you know, make the best of it. Life isn't perfect, you know, so let's just have fun. It just happens to be that the way we have fun is riding motorcycles.
Doug roule sur une moto qu'il a créée et qu'il contrôle rien qu'avec ses bras. Avec ses mains, il passe les vitesses et freine.
As a kid, riding with all my friends in the woods, all I ever wanted to be was Doug Henry. Doug was like pretty much my biggest inspiration and hero.
I know Travis is still a little bit faster than me. Even though he's hurt, he's still faster than me. But, you know, there's going to be a day when it will get close again.
I don't exactly have the doctor's permission to be riding yet, but man, I tell you, if Doug Henry comes down to my house, I'm riding.
It's like I live on the bike. I love it. I don't know how to explain it. You just get lost. You know, I get away from everything. Every day you get a chance to ride, you know, you make the best of it.
Quand on roule avec Travis Pastrana, on finit toujours dans le bac à mousse.
All right, so Travis, basically go ahead, hit it, go slow, and then just try and wheelie off of there.
You got to wheelie off the top.
All right.
That's why it really shouldn't work. Like physics say this is not going to work.
I heard that all before, but just tell me it's just got to...
There's very few people in this world that I would say, like, it can't be done, and that they'll still continue on, and that's why I've always looked up to Doug. Doug's like, nah, I got this. Nice and slow, Doug. Yes! Yeah! That's why that man is my hero. That's not physically possible. Perfect. I can't do that.
I never even thought of doing this.
Yeah, but as soon as you finish the backflip, you said, I'll do a front
I
flip
know,
now.
well, because it went so well.
I think you could do it. Yeah.
Nice! Woo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about! How cool is that, man? How wild does the front flip feel, huh?
That one's scary, because you can't see nothing.
Nothing.
That was good, though.
It was really good.
That was really good.
Yeah, what, just confidence. No second guessing, no hesitation, no pre-run, just hit it.
That got me a good teacher.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
La frontière est mince entre la folie et le sublime, dans cette relation qu'a l'homme avec sa machine.
I mean, the bikes are just pieces of material, but there is something there that sometimes it feels like it has some life in it and can help you or even can send you home. So.
Parcourir le chemin étroit entre la victoire et le désastre est ce qui a façonné cette saison de MotoGP. Après le Grand Prix d'Austin, Dani Pedrosa a gagné en Espagne et en France, alors que le tenant du titre, Jorge Lorenzo, avait gagné en Catalogne. Cela augurait une bataille entre les trois hommes pour le titre. Mais pendant l'entraînement aux Pays-Bas, Lorenzo fit une mauvaise chute. Il se cassa la clavicule, nécessitant une plaque en métal et 6 vis.
It's complicated to stay fit, not to get injured. It's hard when the hammer comes to you. Boom.
Pedrosa se cassa également la clavicule pendant le Grand Prix d'Allemagne.
There is kind of a memory in the body, you know, and sometimes when it's the pain is a lot, always the body tries to keep safe.
Entre-temps, Marquez enchaînait également les chutes. Mais il se débrouillait toujours pour remonter en selle. Lui n'a jamais été gravement blessé, contrairement à Pedrosa et Lorenzo. Pour Marquez, la porte était grande ouverte. À la grande surprise des experts, l'Espagnol de 20 ans arriva en tête du classement.
Didn't expect after 8 races lead the championship.
Pour sa première course à Laguna Seca, Marquez a tout donné, plus que jamais.
We all expected Mark to be fast. We saw how fast he was in Moto2, but I don't think we expected him to be this fast so soon.
En gagnant à Laguna Seca, à Indianapolis puis en République tchèque, Marquez remporte 4 victoires d'affilée. Mais Lorenzo, bientôt sur pied, avait soif de victoire. Au début du Grand Prix d'Australie, Marquez tenait presque le titre entre ses mains, mais il omit un arrêt au stand imposé.
Marquez has stayed out there. Marquez has stayed out on the track. I do not believe this, but surely Marquez has gone a lap too far.
Cette erreur lui valut d'être disqualifié de la course.
This Marc Marquez will not be getting any points if Lorenzo wins.
The 2013 World Championship has been blown wide open.
Avec 0 point pour Marquez et la victoire de Lorenzo, le titre était remis en jeu. La dernière course à Valence en Espagne allait être déterminante.
You want to think of the motorcycle as something that has an application, something it can bring to the world other than just that thrill and that excitement. You know, if you're driven by taking healthcare to a rural community rather than winning that race or that world championship, it's a very good tool.
La MotoGP ne se résume pas à une course au titre. C'est aussi une communauté qui se retrouve pour une bonne cause. La légende du GP, Randy Mamola, a organisé une collecte de fonds pour Riders for Health. L'organisation caritative fut créée il y a 25 ans avec l'aide de la princesse Anne d'Angleterre. Randy et ses cofondateurs Barry et Andrea Coleman ont collecté des fonds mettant la moto en première ligne des combats contre la maladie et la malnutrition dans des zones rurales d'Afrique.
We're in 7 countries in Africa with around 11 to 1,200 motorcycles working in those countries.
Given the sort of the image of motorcycling and how it's been over the years, governments call us up and say, hey, motorcycle racing, we need your help here. Come and help us reach our unreached.
The Industrial Revolution really missed Africa. People were taking things out of Africa, not putting anything in. Machinery and all the things to do with that sort of development really were missed.
We have schools in which we teach them. We found a lot about Africans don't want it to be done. They want to do it themselves. You just got to give them the hands and the tools to do it.
The fact that there is still polio in the world, that is a transport question. That isn't because there isn't a vaccine. You've got absolutely appalling rates of women dying in childbirth only because nobody gets to them.
Most of the population of Zambia, maybe about 70%, is found in the rural. So it's imperative to take health services as close to the people as possible.
Before motorbike came in, we are not able to follow up them to the actual places where they are coming from, meaning that the disease was continuing. We've been able to reduce the cases. This time maybe we only have 2 to 3 cases per month. Before that we used to have maybe 10 to 20 cases of malaria. Actually, I'm actually now enjoying my work. Before the motorcycle came in, I was just thinking of leaving this place because it was quite challenging for me to be able to offer the services that I'm supposed to give to this community.
By maintaining our fleet at a zero breakdown basis, we can change the face of health delivery systems in Africa.
Grâce à sa moto, Derek peut à présent rendre visite à 300 patients par jour. Sa moto ne se contente pas de sauver des vies et d'améliorer l'assistance sanitaire, elle fait aussi de Derek une célébrité du deux roues.
They have actually mastered the sound of my bike. You'd find that those who are still at their homes, when they hear the sounds, they leave whatever they are doing, then they run to the outreach post. To them, I'm a big star.
Riding a motorcycle to me is an experience that I can only explain when I'm riding the motorcycle, not when I'm sitting.
En Afrique, l'image qu'on a de la moto commence tout juste à se construire. Dans d'autres régions du monde, elle est parfois source de conflits. Au milieu des enjeux politiques, écologiques et de civilisation, il devient difficile de trouver un endroit où l'on peut faire de la moto. Un endroit qui nous soit cher.
I opened up the newspaper and I saw our local motocross track was getting shut down. This place, Saka Station, up the road from me. I love that place. It's been there for 7 years and I ride there all the time, and my friends ride there and they brought their kids and taught them how to ride there.
If we didn't have Zaka, then I had to go like 2 hours away to go to Piru. Just a long drive.
You see your kids with a sense of accomplishment, just going around the track once for the first time without falling. The first little jump. I got air, Mom.
It makes me happy to see these guys leave here with a smile on their face. You know, that makes my day. You know, it's been pretty much my life. You know, this is what I love doing.
la menace de fermeture du site Zaka pour nuisance sonore a motivé Carlin à prendre un risque pour sa prochaine course, rouler avec une moto qui ne fait aucun bruit, une moto entièrement électrique.
They're battery electric vehicles, so it has to start with the battery. The batteries are getting better every year. You know, when we have a race like this, all the engineers come together, all the resources, all the support. You know, this is what it's about.
You know, I never really took any interest in it because all I could think of is, yeah, it's got to be like the Prius of motorcycles. How awesome could that be? The outside world's not going to care about electric on electric. You know, you might have the fastest cockroach, but it's still the cockroach races. Whereas, you know, now we're going up against the big boys on the same playing field.
Pour trouver les bolides, il faut se rendre à Pikes Peak. C'est le 50e anniversaire d'une course américaine de légende, le Pikes Peak Hill Climb. C'est 20 km de long, 156 virages de 1830 à 4270 mètres d'altitude. Les paysages sont incroyables, le danger l'est encore plus.
That's basically your self-preservation gene saying, slow down, slow down. You're gonna go off the cliff, you're gonna go to the trees, you're gonna go to the rocks. All the way to the top.
Carlin a remporté cette course 2 fois. En 2011 comme pilote indépendant et en 2012 comme pilote Ducati. C'était la première fois qu'une moto battait les 10 minutes. Là, il tente une 3e victoire d'affilée, cette fois sur une moto électrique.
And I gotta say, at first, it was so different. You rely on these senses, like the sound and the vibration. And so instead of operating in this kind of chaotic, noisy environment, it just becomes calm. And I'm just kind of doing this dance on the bike.
Les motos électriques sont silencieuses. En fait, trop pour cette course. Avec des spectateurs aussi proches, les motos électriques doivent faire du bruit, peu importe lequel. Dans le cas de Carlin, lors des essais, c'était le bruit d'une alarme.
So here I am, I'm trying to be zen, you know, I'm whatever. And my bike is like making the most hideous noise. But you can't turn it off or else they'll disqualify. It's like, this is some sick joke.
Cruelle ironie du sort, comme cela se produit souvent ici.
Is the challenge of the mountain and the forever changing weather conditions that can manipulate into storms and rain showers and snow showers in a matter of minutes.
Pour Carlin et l'équipe Lightning, la pluie commençait à être préoccupante.
I asked Richard if we could get some rain tires, and he looked at me funny why I'd ask him that, and he said that they'd never tested the bike in the rain before.
Nobody knows what happens when you take a 400-volt battery pack and you drench it with rain.
Oh, so maybe that might be a problem too.
Yeah. You weren't looking to having kids down the line, were you?
Au lever du jour, les spectateurs affluent par milliers et les participants se préparent pour la compétition.
For every level of competitor that you see here, you have teams with manufacturer support going for victories in classes or overall. And then you have privateers coming that have tuned and tweaked on their own machinery and hand-built it themselves.
If you win, there's some money, but if I get up with my bike, with my personal bike, with a good lap time, I think I can cry for one entire day because, you know, it's a satisfaction.
Yeah, Marco's a great guy. 5 years, I think, is your 5th year.
Yeah, 5th year.
You know, if I can house the whole last couple of years, we'll house 5, 6 Italians at our place. It's chaos for a week.
Right? You guys stay in his house? Yes. Okay.
It does build kind of a bond. You create these friends in kind of somewhat of a stressful environment, but like I said before, you're doing something that you love and you feel so wholeheartedly about.
La pluie a cessé et les pilotes prennent place sur la ligne de départ. Carlin prend le départ à 8h45.
By the
L'équipe Lightning doit se contenter d'observer d'en bas. Carlin mène dès le deuxième split. Une fois arrivé au sommet, Carlin a battu le temps record de la journée avec 20 secondes d'avance sur tous les autres. Pour la première fois dans une telle course, une moto électrique a battu tous les concurrents. Ce dimanche-là, Carlin Dune écrit une page d'histoire. Le lendemain, il sera de retour pour vendre des motos avec son père.
Thank you. Good job.
En Espagne, la moto est une religion.
There's more motorcycles on a regular day in Barcelona than there is in Daytona Bike Week.
Because every kid in Spain wants to be a MotoGP racer.
Valence est la dernière étape du Tour MotoGP. Pour la première fois depuis 7 ans, tout se joue sur la dernière course.
In Austin, on the second race of the season, I couldn't imagine that because, it was my first season. I spoke with you that maybe here I will try to get my first victory, but then will be difficult. But yeah, we did a very good season. So now we are on the most important race.
Les derniers jours avant la course, toute la nation a les yeux braqués sur la piste de Valence.
You have all the fans together in one line, all the track. Motorcycle in Spain is something in the blood.
Le championnat s'était resserré sur 2 pilotes. Le tenant du titre, Jorge Lorenzo, et le rookie Marc Marquez. Lorenzo a besoin d'une victoire. Marquez, lui, peut arriver 4e et doit éviter toute erreur. Lorenzo a tout fait pour essayer de perturber Marc.
When you have the pressure, it's a little bit different, but in the end, try to make a normal race, not a special one.
L'équipe de Marquez s'inquiète que son jeune pilote ne tombe dans le piège et prenne trop de risques face à Lorenzo. Cela pourrait entraîner une chute et la perte du championnat.
The problem is that when you slow down, you lose a little bit the concentration. When you are pushing, when you are fast, you pay attention, you are more concentrated on the bike, on everything.
It's a beautiful afternoon here in Valencia to have the 18th and final round of MotoGP. 104,000 fans. You really could not ask for any more. Marc Marquez has to finish 4th or above to clinch the world title. The current world champion, Jorge Lorenzo, 7 Grand Prix victories this season. Dani Pedrosa, the man that's got the best record here in Valencia. The whole of Spain is coming to a halt at this very moment, I can promise you. Lights to red, let battle commence. A good start from Jorge Lorenzo yet again. He just covered up really nicely as the light went out. And look at that, Pedrosa is past Marquez. Marquez has come back and he's in 3rd place as Lorenzo leads Pedrosa in 2nd.
Pour Pedrosa, il ne s'agit pas de gagner, mais d'assurer les arrières de Marquez et faire en sorte que Lorenzo le laisse tranquille.
Quite good that he's got Pedrosa just in front of him, harassing and harrying Lorenzo, because Lorenzo will know that he needs to win this race. Pedrosa determined to help his teammate Marquez. Lorenzo fighting back already into turn 2. He forces Pedrosa wide and retakes the lead. Yeah, he's doing a brilliant job, Dani Pedrosa. You were so right, because Lorenzo wants to start slowing the pace. He knows that Pedrosa is so capable of going by and absolutely clearing off.
What can Lorenzo respond with? Here he comes! He almost takes Danny Pedrosa's right leg off. And Marc Marquez will be already wanting to shake Danny Pedrosa's hand because he's helping him out no end here.
And then come up towards the mid-doing curve. Lorenzo fights back. There's no way through that time. There he is. He's pushed Danny Pedrosa wide.
He's pushed him right off the track as well. He has to do it now. Marquez takes over at the front. Can Marquez try and push away? This is perhaps what Lorenzo wanted. He's going to have to try and slow things up. He's got to play with the rookie.
Marquez doesn't need to be getting sucked into this, especially with Danny Pedrosa behind him.
Marc a prouvé qu'il peut battre Lorenzo à son propre jeu. À 5 tours de l'arrivée, il laisse son coéquipier Danny, l'autre héros du jour, lui passer devant et prendre la 2e place.
He's going to win his debut season in MotoGP to become the first rookie since Kenny Roberts in 1978. The new world champion in MotoGP in 2030 is the rookie Marc Marquez. He's done it.
Marc Marquez réussit un tour de force. À 20 ans, il devient le plus jeune champion de MotoGP de l'histoire. Pour Marquez, en ce glorieux dimanche après-midi, le rêve a pris le pas sur la réalité. Ce qu'il faut retenir de la moto, c'est qu'il s'agit de bien plus que des fans, des prix et des trophées. Dans le fond, c'est juste conduire entre amis et partager du bon temps. C'est exactement ce qui se passe à chaque Thanksgiving à Day in the Dirt, dans la ville de Glen Ellen en Californie. Robbie Madison, Carlin Dune, Roland Sands, Doug Henry et des centaines d'autres personnes viennent simplement faire une balade.
The fact that you have absolute heroes and legends on the same race course as a regular guy, and everybody treats everybody the same, and you don't even know that you're talking to Ricky John. Well, of course you would.
It doesn't matter if you're a 7-time national champion or this is your first time throwing a leg over a motorcycle. When you come out today on the dirt, it's more about family and friends.
We're all young together. You and your machine are out there on the track trying to tackle these obstacles, and those times when you overcome a fear and you hit that jump for the first time, that feeling you can't get that feeling anywhere. I can't.
It's this big eclectic group. It's the end of the year. The season's over for everybody. So it's just kind of a who's who from every discipline.
This is what it's all about. I'm glad I'm finally old enough to be able to appreciate it, just have fun. I've been trying to win nothing.
The experiences it brings and the memories it can make and the friends you get from it, they're gonna last forever because you can always relate back to, oh, let's just go ride our dirt bikes for a day.
Never even get to use a roll cage.
It's a vehicle to see these places, to go explore. It means a lot more than going around with the camera and snapping photos off. On the back of a motorcycle, that's the way I want to see the world.
Kurt Caselli, American hero. That's what I'm saying. So for all you guys, let's do this lap for him. And enjoy the day in the dirt. Thank you all for coming.
and I'm afeard I used to know. I'm flying over my shoulder through the dust. I'm calling, run word and catch me if you can. On any Sunday I'm a flying. On any Sunday looking back on the crowd from the far out place I found, screaming inside of me and laughing out loud. I'm losing contact with the ground. I'm flying over my shoulder through the dust. I'm calling, run word and catch me if you can. On any Sunday I'm a flying. Free as the wind, faster than time. Reason and rhyme are running behind. Tasting the sun, feeling the earth, knowing my worth and freeing my mind. On any Sunday like the tail of a kite, flying and dancing in the wind. I'd like to break the string and drift out of sight. I may not pass this way